Well, it's a new month, so all good things come through for us in the month of April. We're excited to have you join us. Sports in 60 minutes right here. I'm Femi Faraway, great company as well. Princewill Oviesan, Olamide Onwuka, and Opeyemi, imoru. It's no longer Women's Month, so when we are back with the boys, good to have all of you around.
It's a pleasure being here.
I love being here, and I'm so excited. But you said it every day, like women should be celebrated.
Now, wow.
Come on, man.
Now, wow.
Come on.
Now, wow.
Okay.
When we say in this profession,
I don't know what it is.
We always say gentlemen of the press. We don't say gentlemen and ladies of the press.
That's where the problem is. They should be ladies and gentlemen of the press.
Thank you, Olamide. Thank you.
Celebrate your way.
All right.
As a matter of fact, you are the only gentle guy here. Because he's not talking, he's supporting Femi.
He just supported you.
Okay. Femi, you're your own.
What is right is right.
Yeah.
You cannot say gentlemen of the press
No.
when you have very diligent, competent women over the years who have done it well.
I mean, we have to go and say some of the wordings of our holy books.
Thank
They say man handled by bread alone.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
But it's good to have everyone right here. So we're excited today. Well, I know that for Opey, maybe not so much, because while one half of us teams she supports is doing pretty well in Kigali City, the other half, Manchester United, just continues to find new lows. We're touching on all those stories here and more as well, including updates coming through from the President Federation Cup, which will be our next topic when we return from this time out. All right, so there's so many stories to go through, and where better to start than right here in Nigeria, the 2025 President Federation Cup. It's a mouthful, but we'll get a hang of it sooner or later. Round of 32 games came through as well. We've come past 64 to 32. We've now trimmed the list as low as, 16, right? Yeah, my maths isn't the best, but hey, we all know we've got what we've got to go through. Now, there have been some big results coming out of it. I'm just going to go through some of those stories for you as well. Winners including Abakaliki FC beating Katsina United 3-2 on penalties. Oshu United also progressed past E-World United 4-2 on penalties. Aqua United under Kennedy Boboye through to the next phase. They went past Mighty Jets. Kwara United beat Gombe United by a goal to nil. Wicked Tourist also got a victory. One of the biggest results was Nasara United under Salisu Yusuf. It's been a very, very tough week for him as well. They beat Ijele FC by 5 goals to nil. Bayelsa United got the better of FC Basira by 2 goals to nil. Finland Insurance, they also through as well. Round of 16 next up. The biggest upset has to be Beyond Limits, going past Rivers United 2 goals to 1. Eimba, well, they beat champions El Kanemi Warriors by goal to nil. So Stanley Aguma has got a way back into the continent next season if things goes his way. Hey, what else can we say? Lobby Stars are out. So many problems for them. 2-1 to Lobby, 2-1 to Solutions FC. Sunshine Stars got knocked out by Plateau United. Ikorodu City, oh goodness, got the better of Crown FC by 3 goals to 1. And then the little matter must be mentioned as well. One of the Oriental Derby, Heartland, lost to Rangers by 5 goals to 3.
That was the star match. Yeah,
no, that wasn't the star match. That was just the little. El Kanemi Imba was the star match. The champions versus one of the perennial teams.
Princewill, one of them.
I don't know where it's coming from.
What do you mean? That's my star match.
I think we know what.
That's my star match.
Okay,
El Kanemi Imba was my star match. What was your star match?
Okay, now that ask me for my view, I can now speak.
What do you mean? What was I said the little matter. When I mentioned, I said the little.
We should be careful these days with what we say.
I said the little matter of the Oriental Derby, Heartland and Rangers.
Did you hear that?
That matter. He's trying to.
Candidly speaking, when it comes to the PFC, the President Federation Cup, it's one exciting.
That's what you call the PFC.
Yes, that's short from PFC, President Federation.
I thought you were calling the Challenge Cup.
That's of old. That's of old.
That name has changed. Like
I still prefer the FA Cup.
Yeah, I prefer the FA Cup.
But no, I prefer the Challenge Cup. The reason I say Challenge Cup is unique. In almost every country, in England, there's an FA Cup.
Yes.
But when you use the word Challenge Cup, you won't find a lot of countries where that word Challenge Cup is used. Now, President Federation Cup is unique, I agree. But I'm saying that it's just a mouthful. Challenge Cup. And because Challenge Cup cuts across generations, cuts from my generation to your generation to generation before your generation. Everyone has used that word, so just stick to it.
Well, you evolve with time. And when money
not
comes
in, not in the name.
When money comes in,
actually Carabao Cup.
Everything.
No, but Carabao Cup.
Happens.
So is Carabao Cup as prestigious as the FA Cup? No.
No.
No. But the FA Cup has stayed the
But
way it
please,
is.
please don't take the excitement away.
I'm
We
sorry.
won. We won.
You want no penalties now. You want no penalties. And you know, Shane Heartland.
Yes,
No. I think it's not a small game.
It's a tough game.
It's an Oriental derby.
But let him have his day.
the win.
Heartland.
On
That
record.
everybody's beating Heartland.
You
Even the
are
Ikorodu
trying to
On record.
belittle the win.
Olamide, hold on. Let me take my time. Let me savor this time. On record, what is written there? Win.
penalty.
Win.
Everybody,
penalty.
every other serious-minded team won in 90 minutes.
But they won, and then the next round of
Enyimba
16.
won
But that
90
as it may, Femi, I'm coming for you. Just hold on. That as it may, the excitement about the FA Cup is still there when you see unknown teams actually soaring up to take their place. Like I tell anybody, like rightly said, the Challenge Cup is one big tournament. Clubs that want to upsurge and make name for themselves.
Yeah,
come
that's
in,
the opportunity.
And that is the beauty of it all.
Think about the name like esports or the e-world football,
Basira.
FC Basira,
Yeah.
all booking, as in all playing at this round. It's Jelly FC.
It's
That,
something.
the fact that they didn't make it to the round of 16, some of these teams, but
Round
beyond
of 32,
limits.
round of
Crown.
16.
Yeah, beyond limits. Beyond limits, making it through. Makwa, what's your thought? Coming in?
I think it's a very big one. It reminded me that Remo Stars actually pulled out of this tournament because they wanted to focus on the league itself. For me, I thought, yeah, good for them because they have been there almost every time and they couldn't win any of it. So they were like, okay, the best thing for us is to pull out. And their junior team is doing wonders. Nobody saw that coming. It's a big upset for Beyond Limit to go ahead and beat Rivers United. Rivers United are second on the table.
FG.
They are
beat FG.
second.
They beat FG. Not federal government. FG is not federal government.
Femi, you're just looking for a way to
Finish the
upsurge
judge.
them.
No.
I
Finish the judge.
I know it was going there.
Femi, what was that for?
FG now. Finish the judge.
So it was like I was saying before he
Rudely interrupted you, right?
imagine.
Really?
So it was a good game for me. I think the boys really came out and we are beginning to see that you don't have to be very old to play the MPFL. We could see what Ikorodu 2 they are doing in the MPFL.
What they did was wonderful.
They are called baby of the league. Without me digressing to
magnificent.
Ikorodu, let's go back
What
to
Ikorodu did
Beyond
was
Limit.
magnificent.
Beyond Limit. Those boys are, they are very small and they are doing great things. And I think it's a beauty to behold. Seeing Beyond Limit beating out Rivers United.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Maybe you could ask question.
Go ahead.
So what were you expecting that Crown would beat Ikorodu City?
Crown is an old team.
Yeah.
Crown of Ogbomosho.
Fiyele.
Crown is of
Leave
Ogbomosho.
that thing, Femi.
The
So,
second biggest team.
Why
after
can't they
Shooting
beat
Stars.
Ikorodu
did you
City?
think the Jew
Yes.
ever?
I felt like it was going to be a challenge, and Ikorodu rose to the challenge. Let me tell you something about Ikorodu City. This year, Ikorodu City, Princewill, your jealousy, your bad belly will worry
But he
you.
has not said anything now.
It's his look. It's his look. Princewill bad belly will worry him. Watch it, Princewill. Ikorodu City are going all the way to the semi-finals.
Of President PFC.
Amen.
Rangers will knock Rangers out now. Rangers will
You
beat
see,
you.
I was just
They'll
going
beat
to tell you
Rangers
that
to win.
because
It's all
City
right.
and Rangers will meet in the semis.
They will meet.
They
Let's
will beat them first. They will beat Rangers first semis.
Let's
So you
guys.
don't want to meet us?
They will beat CC now. They'll beat Rangers now. They'll
Who
beat
do you
Rangers.
want to meet?
Eyimba. In the
Enyimba that
semi-final.
is not good.
But at the moment, they
Oh, yeah,
everybody
who?
knows.
Do you know where they are?
No, I even love Beyond Limits because the current coach of Ikorodu City, right, formerly used to be a coach in Remo Stars. So it'd be good for him to play a team under that same pyramid and show them what the stuff is
You
made
see
of.
the way I'm looking at you? You're excited.
I am.
Keep on.
Because I can see that it is biting in your
You want to hear
stomach.
something, Femi?
And he's already seeing the future.
No,
For
the
you.
future is bleak. One thing I want to assure you here now is that Ikorodu City will not win this tournament.
But they'll play final.
They will not. You want to?
They'll play final for Lagos.
Forfeit.
You want to place a forfeit?
Forfeit.
We don't enter April now.
Yes,
Then now we don't.
Oh yeah,
play
but
forfeit.
let's
We
go.
don't play
What do you
forfeit.
say? What do you say? I said they'll reach
Ikorodu
semi-final.
will not. You
No,
say final.
semi-final.
Final. No, you
Final.
say final.
They said semi-final.
He said final.
I say semi-final. This
I
is a
say
gang
final.
up. This is a gang up. This is a gang up.
He's chickening out.
You're no longer the man of your word. though.
I'm no longer a man of my word. I'm not in Nigeria. I'm not in Nigeria. I'm not in Nigeria. Let's move on from that story as well, and just give you some updates coming through from the continent. Remember, the CAF Champions League is on, the Confederation of Cup as well. Unfortunately, Nigeria teams are out of it. There's been some very good wins for teams this week. Sundowns got the better of Esperance by 0-0. Al Ahly beat Al Hilal by 0-0. MC Algiers lost at home to Orlando Pirates. Two South African teams doing pretty well. We also saw Pyramids get the better of FAR Rabat. That's 4-1. The Egyptian side claiming all 3 points, or claiming the win in this game. There are a few other games. Al Masry 2-0 over Simba. ASEC Mimosa losing 1-0 to Bakane, and Constantine 1-1 USM Algiers. Prince, let's get your thoughts before I leave. Not the results. The fact that, we've complained a lot about CAF's new system, talking about development football. From the under 23 level down, there's the WAFU A, WAFU B. Many people have said it has stifled the development of football in the West African region. And many say West Africa is arguably the strongest, arguably, because there's North Africa too. There's a fight for North Africa, UNIFAC area, where you've got the likes of Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt, right? But be that as it may, what's your take? We look at the CAF Champions League. Only one West African country. One, ASEC.
ASEC.
And even ASEC didn't win. At this stage, we haven't had a consistent run of West African countries in the latter stages of the game. Yes, the southern part, yes, the northern part, not the eastern, not West Africa.
Well, I want to quickly tell you it was the level of seriousness and series of programs in North Africa starting in place. It simply shows that they have a clear-cut focus for what they want to achieve in a couple of years to come. For the West African region, we are too full of ourselves. Talent abounds, no doubt about that. But are we actually projecting so much for the future?
Are we even evolving? Because when we talk about Al Ahly, talk about Mamelodi Sundowns, they get players from all across Africa. They get players from abroad, from across Africa. But when we get Remo will qualify for the Champions League.
And come back.
Yes. But what would they do? Because this year...
and come back.
The truth is just the simple truth. I mean, it's the simple truth. No, but it's the simple truth. See, for me, I look at South African football in general.
It's gone big.
Look at the ascendancy, the upward ascendancy in South African football. And it's translating to their national team.
Obviously.
Look at Mamelodi Sundowns. Consistent team. Orlando Pirates recently. Even Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch
is South African.
It's also South African. And they are still in the group stage.
So and they're taking on Zamalek
South African
and holding Zamalek to a goalless draw.
Which is why I'm bringing this now. If you also want to forfeit, no problem.
Be very careful with yourself.
They will beat Super Eagles.
Be careful.
They will beat Super Eagles. You want to
be careful.
We are not discussing Super Eagles.
Be careful.
Because of I just branched.
Don't branch. Come back to this.
But I need to bring this to the fore, gentlemen and lady. We're not actually taking something very serious in this part of the world. Football is evolving, like you rightly said. The developmental programs itself, we're not embracing them.
What do you mean by developmental programs? The NSC has promised to put football on the world map again.
Please don't spoil
sports generally.
Don't spoil
and we've seen what they've done in fencing, in table tennis.
I ate pop-off and some fine cold.
Princewill, why do we always make every week we come to do this show a conversation about you and I? Why?
Okay, we'll soon find out. But the truth remains that we're not embracing the level of football development that we're supposed to.
We've missed one under 17. Is that the problem?
No. When you compare,
they go under 20.
Hold on. When you compare what the South Africans and North Africans are actually,
what have they done? What have they won with it, Princewill?
What have they won?
What have they won with it?
Okay, we're talking about the African continent. Right?
Yes.
Name any West African team that has got hold of the CAF Champions League more than any one of them in North Africa and South Africa.
Tell me how many of those teams.
No, I asked you a question.
None. Tell me how many of those teams. Wait now. Tell me how many of those teams have won in recent years more AFCON than any West African country.
More AFCON
than any West African team.
In recent years, Egypt won it back to back.
No, in recent years. That was over 15 years ago.
Hold on.
Over 15 years ago.
The last two winners were
West African nations.
Côte d'Ivoire.
And Senegal. West African nations.
Come in. You asked me a question.
As a matter of fact, if you even move back,
also tell me how many West African teams have got into the semi-finals and finals of the African.
A lot of them.
Name them.
Practically Nigeria.
Semi-finals of what?
Of AFCON. Nigeria.
Of AFCON.
Nigeria. Nigeria, remember?
Let's take it down. The North Africans and South Africans are
because it cannot take it there. Even Egypt. Sorry, even Cameroon. won in 2017. And Cameroon, while Cameroon may not be wafu, they are still closer to us than they are to North
You don't want to admit the fact.
I will not, because what you are saying is not completely true.
Now,
only Algeria has won the AFCON in the last 5 times.
Let me give you a clearer picture. I'm not looking at the victories. I'm looking at
no, but the end justifies the means.
That is
how
the
do
reason
you
why
talk
FIFA
about
and CAF has taken it upon themselves to keep embracing the North Africans when it comes to competition hosting, because they have the facilities, they have the program.
Which program? Which program?
Femi.
Program? What? Wait, which program? When last did they win? When last did any of these North African teams win an international tournament?
When last did Brazil win the World Cup?
It doesn't matter. We're apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. Doesn't matter.
Look at Morocco's performance at the World Cup 2020.
Did they win it? You win them. Did you medal?
No.
Did you medal?
No.
Did you medal?
Look at
it's
the
not
development when
just
it comes to
about
football.
No,
the end justifies in 20 years from now,
Femi.
in 30 years from now, Olamide, when you're talking to your children about the performance and the feats achieved, you will not say that, oh, Rojamila had a run. Did you win anything?
Can I ask one question?
Ask me one question.
We're looking at a retrospect of sports generally in Africa, right?
Uh-huh.
When you come to the Olympic, you come to the All African Games, who holds sway?
What do you mean who was with? Now we win Olympics.
Africans.
Now we.
Where?
Olympics, now we win them.
Please don't go to Olympics.
Africa.
You win them. You mentioned Olympics.
Olympics was a
You
shambles.
mentioned.
Are you
The
talking
last
about
time-
just football or
No,
the
sports generally.
Generally.
It's not
The
like
last
general
time-
sport.
No, we have more.
What
do you
do
mean?
In the last 10 years.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
North Africans.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Medals. I just
What do you mean? Yes. What do you mean? Yes. What do you mean?
South Africa.
In Olympics. In Olympics,
Yes,
you said North
Olympics,
Africa or this
South
thing.
Africa,
In
South
Olympics,
Africa,
you said
yes.
North Africa or us.
I
North
said
Africa is
North
not there.
Africans have gotten much more better sports
No.
than West Africa.
In Olympics, no.
Yes.
In Olympics, no.
They don't
All
know
Africa
that
games, we showed them Pepe the last time. They should watch out for their bag the next one.
Did you win?
What do you mean? We're second. We're second.
Who won?
It shows development.
Who
Growth.
won?
Wait,
Doesn't
who
matter.
won?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Who
matter.
won?
Back to
You know
football.
what
Either you like it
quality
or not, right? The North Africans will keep holding sway, Femi.
I feel it. Like even look at
That's the truth.
the tournament hosting AFCON. The next 2 or 3
editions. It's not.
It doesn't matter.
What
Last
does
one was
that
Cote
tell you?
d'Ivoire.
Doesn't matter.
The last one was Cote d'Ivoire now.
But you're not talking.
Because Opeyemi knows what I'm saying. It's facts. It's facts.
Give Opeyemi to contribute.
Okay,
Yes.
this is my own contribution. I was just
Opeyemi remember you're from Nigeria.
Let me-
And
let
West
me-
Africa.
No,
I understand
don't
where
mind
Princewill and Olamide is coming from in terms of growth and
Thank you.
in terms of developmental growth. You know, in 2022, when I went to Morocco, I think the only field they have that was well to do was about, we had 3, 5 or so, and they have other small ones that they are managing that you can call like somewhere like Onikon Stadium. And now you could see 2002 up until now, you could see that
That's 2022 now.
they've
done pretty well in terms of infrastructural.
They are hosting the
this
World
thing.
Cup. So what's your
And,
choice
uh,
now?
and-
They
and-
host World
and-
Cup.
And that has really
It's not about
shown.
that.
I don't think
It
it's.
has
When
really
South Africa
shown.
won't host World Cup, they don't build more stadium. What did they do after they finish the host World Cup? No, I don't bring when I let me
Do
hear
you
one.
know what South Africa? You say what
What did they do? What did they do? Pass to the house Lesotho and
Femi,
Zimbabwe. So they go feel help them qualify for World Cup. I beg.
Clubs in South Africa
Why you bringing the
utilize
World Cup
those
issue now? You
stadiums.
said, Ola should not bring in the Super Eagles.
Because that's apples and oranges for him. For more, I mentioned South Africa, I give it to him.
Please, I beg.
So I think I understand where they are coming from. In as much as you know, we go there and we get result does not mean that we are doing well. We might be getting the result. We might go like developmental football now, under 20, under 17.
What's the plan?
You understand? We'll go and do parapol and go and get results.
That tournament,
but we are not developing.
said, that tournament is a sham.
Which one?
Which tournament?
All those under 17, it's a sham. Because in development, Princewill, what you wear at 17, what you wear at 17, and what you wear at 20, it's not your peers. It's not, you guys don't develop at the same time. We all develop differently.
Yes.
Biology is different.
Yes.
One, why would you be creating? The end justifies the means. The means here is this: in food, we always say competition is about winning.
You're confusing me here. I don't know where you're coming from.
Where I'm coming from is that look, that tournament is a sham. It makes no sense.
Under 17.
Under 20, just a way for FIFA to share money. It's a sham. What's better development? What matters is the World Cup.
Femi, look at the players.
So how wait now? So ask me a question: how the teams that win the World Cup?
Femi,
In the team that win the, how many of the players are in the team that win the World Cup? Play under 17, under 20.
Check now.
How many?
David De Gea, Tony Cruz.
David De Gea didn't win the World Cup.
He played under 17.
But he didn't win the World Cup.
Hey, but look at their
He did not win the
career.
World Cup.
See, I'm looking at him.
Look at their career now.
The only player that won that he can mention, that you can see
Because
this
he
was the name Messi.
Messi.
That was the only one.
But it was.
Aguero didn't win the World Cup. Aguero didn't win the World Cup.
Toni Kroos didn't win the World Cup.
Toni Kroos won the World Cup.
He did now.
But Toni Kroos that you're mentioning won the World Cup 10 years ago.
But he won the World Cup.
We're talking about, and we're picking one. You cannot pick a team. Mention the Argentine team. How many players played under 17, under 20?
I hope you understand what we
team?
say. What is meant when we say there's a mutually exclusive project. Randomly, one will definitely come
This
back.
under 17 is for developing countries. That's what I believe.
So,
Because it's for developing countries, because the serious countries don't rely on this tournament. They don't even bother.
they just participate and go.
It's like saying Chan. Egypt doesn't even bother about Chan. They didn't know that Egypt withdrew their team from Chan. Because for them, it makes no sense.
There was a reason.
It makes no, even Tunisia. Tunisia withdrew. Now that there's money in the tournament, they want to come back.
Imagine. But when they withdrew, they said
It was a sham. It is a
was not
Chan.
reasonable.
Chan is a sham. Chan is a sham.
That's the reason.
Chan too is a sham.
So
Chan.
Wait. Before we go on break, because we need to go on break.
Chan Sham.
Before we go on break, let me ask you this
need
question.
to take some
Why
water.
do you think our teams have been failing in the CAF Champions League?
Number one, funding. Simple. Does that answer your question?
Funding is not the issue.
Funding is the issue.
So what's the issue?
If we make the amount of money,
Funding
if we
is not
spend the kind
issue.
of money that Ali or Mamelodi Sundowns spend,
If you tell me funding in terms of program that we initiate back at home, I would
no
go
funding in terms of player acquisition and all the work.
It's still part of it because
Princewill, we'll have to pick another day to continue this.
You have to.
I'm ready.
Okay, since you took me up on this, I'll be ready for you.
Yeah.
I go prepare. I'll do some
I'm waiting on the
exercising as well. No, we'll do it in broad daylight.
You say
We didn't do anything for let's talk about something that is in broad daylight. Started this week, the Niger Delta Sports Festival. I'm still a bit perplexed about the story, but everyone converged in Uyo. April the 2nd was the day the first ever regional sports festival took place. It brought together athletes, coaches, technical officials from 9 mandate states that make up the NDDC. That also includes Ondo states. For those who are asking, they got Ijaw people right there, and they were also represented at the National Sports Festival. Princewill, your state was represented, Delta State. The less I say, by your state, the better it is. But let's get into your state's matter.
It's a good development. For me, I think it will keep the young athletes busy. Also put them in preparatory state for another event that is upcoming.
National Sports
Festival. So it's a good one. I don't want to look beyond that. For me, it's a good event. It's going to be a continuum. This is the first edition. And the Nigerian Delta Sports Commission has promised that they will continue to support it, which is what we need. Developmental program that will enhance these young ones to keep occupying themselves in the profession they cherish. I don't want to go beyond.
Olamide, what state are you from, by the way?
I'm from Abia State.
Okay, no, you're not part of the Niger Delta.
He is an oil producing state.
No, but they're not part of the Niger
Not
Delta.
necessarily.
Which of the palm oil or granola?
Calm down. Well, but for me though, the thing I found interesting was the renovation of the some facilities, in preparation for this tournament. Some of those facilities.
Sorry to cut you short, rudely.
Yeah.
I'm going to come in here.
Yeah.
Must we always wait for
tournament.
event to come up? Because what is happening in Abuja?
What's happening in Ogun State? Yeah.
Yes.
What's happening in Ogun State? Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So for me,
What's happening in
I
Lagos
just
State?
feel like
Yeah.
I just feel like those
Facilities.
revival of those facilities, so to speak, is one good thing that comes out of this tournament.
All right, let's leave that out. Except anybody else has anything to add to that?
I think Olamide said the right, in as much as Princewill is finding a comma there.
Yes,
but for me, if it's doing tournament that will help us revive our facility, please let's start hosting tournaments in all the 36 states. If we have to. After all, the AFCON, it took Ivory Coast to host the AFCON for them to revive some of their facilities.
Coming back from war, that was quite understandable.
Please, Lagos State needs to host something so that they will revive the National Stadium, the Teslim Balogun, Onikon Stadium, Agege Stadium, and all of that.
Yeah. They come back from the war over 15 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Facilities are meant to generate revenue.
You know what I feel?
After using.
You know what I feel?
I'm coming. Oga producer, presenter.
I'm not the Oga producer.
Okay.
Producer is hiding.
Okay. If you have
Oh my God.
facilities properly maintained,
Yeah.
it will generate revenue. People will come to get it and do whatever they want to do, especially from the Christendom angle, revivals.
Prince will go hard to please you. He's a very hard person to please you.
It's
when you know why
you see, I'm not
I know. I will not
based on the fact that we have the resources to keep this thing going. And our maintenance culture is almost near zero. But when we want to do anything, that same money that we're supposed to keep for something else, we bring it to bear on those same projects, which is wrong.
That's the point, actually.
Which is wrong.
No. In as much as I'm getting your point.
Full stop. We must send you to any other country that wants you.
Even if you do that, you won't stop me from being who I am.
Go be who you want to be in Guinea. Or Guinea-Bissau, or Chad,
no, take me to Ghana.
or Niger,
or Burkina Faso,
or what they used to call them. After Nigeria beat them, Burkina suffer.
Ghana is better. Ghana.
Yeah. Even Ghana will reject you because you'll be a problem to Ghana. Ghana will reject you.
And the happy
Maybe
thing,
Benin or Togo.
Okay, please speak Jare.
Togo.
and the happy thing is that you could realize that over the decades, all roads has been leading to Uyo because Uyo is the new
sports
Haven.
destination.
You understand? So
Jinx
I
Uyo.
think we need to be having competitions, tournaments.
Why would Princewill teacher say that in my presence? How? Why will he say something in my presence? Why will
In all the
Princewill say something in my
30
presence?
states of the country, so that they will be
peace to
renovating.
For peace
You
to
know?
reign. Okay, for peace to reign, let's just go to other results.
Okay.
For peace to reign, because
For
what
peace
I
to
just
reign,
said like
please.
this now,
No, to
that's two issues that we
it's
put
for
to
your
one
own
side.
good. I'm saying this.
Two
It's
issues. Prince is always fond of always doing this thing, and nobody
It's,
says anything.
It's all right.
When Uyo was giving us the World Cup ticket in 2018, I don't remember saying anybody said complain about it though.
Please, I'll send
Was it you that gave us?
Yes.
I'll send a particular
It was Uyo.
video.
I thought
I'll
it's
send
Abuja.
no.
It was Uyo.
I will send you
2018 it was Uyo.
Femi, I'll send a particular video
Uyo
where
have been
I said
Lagos.
Uyo was
Uyo,
on the right
Lagos,
place for us to
no,
start
not
prosecuting
Lagos.
our games, either at the
2018.
or the World Cup.
2018
I still have
is
it.
MKO.
It's
I still
Uyo.
have it.
Are you sure it's Uyo?
Yes, it was Uyo. Geno Raw.
Oh, it's true.
Was it Uyo?
I think
Now you.
that stadium must resemble, say,
Now
Uyo and Abuja, they all
Leave the Abuja. Abuja is one that pierced our hearts.
Until we bring back football to Lagos.
Which Lagos?
Yes,
Which
so
Lagos? Which Lagos?
yes,
Which
until we
Lagos?
bring
Which
football
Lagos?
back to
Which
Lagos.
stadium? Is it?
National Stadium, Tessin Balogun
You know what? Let me
Stadium.
read the results.
Wait,
Princewill is fond of doing this thing.
before you read your
I
result,
agree.
you said something. You concorded with Ope that we should keep hosting event and football.
Yeah.
If you bring football back to Lagos, National Stadium will be revived.
Yes.
Tessin Balogun will be revived.
Yes.
George,
It's being revived.
it's being revived after many
Waiting.
years.
If you enter inside, leave that thing that you are seeing outside though.
It's not just
If you enter inside, there's nothing happening inside that stadium. If you enter inside,
for 2027.
Up to
It's
my
being
I'm ready for 2027.
Agege Stadium is there, abandoned.
Don't even go to Agege Stadium.
Let's read results.
Okay.
Olamide, let's come over to you. Let's talk about Copa del Rey.
Yeah.
And that will bring the smile because I think that will Princewill will rest now. We rest.
We won't have so much
We
to say.
rest. Eh?
Oh,
Because
I think so.
Sometimes I used to reason with you, but not all the time.
I think so.
Barcelona has set up El Clasico for us.
Now you're talking.
Please go on.
So I should talk
Yes,
about
please go on. The floor is yours.
Why did you ask me about Barcelona?
Because I want you to bring the joy out. Maybe to help us lighten the mood in this place.
Okay.
Because somebody is looking at me with one strong eyes.
Okay, for me, I feel like this is.
I thought that game was a bit too easy though.
No, 1-0. No.
I thought it was a bit
I
too
saw
easy.
the game.
When I say easy,
Yeah.
the scoreline flattered Atletico Madrid. I thought Barcelona, based on the performance I saw, Barca should have got more goals.
No, so a lot is happening. These guys have played 3 games in 7 days.
Yeah, well, but everyone will talk about
and
this.
it's not easy. We expected it that they're going to. Imagine having to travel after you finish playing a game, and then you're thinking in 2 days' time you have another tough match because their next match, which we'll be reviewing, is a very tough game. So I feel like against
there's no
Atletico,
Isco in that match.
Betis is the
There's no
most is the
Isco.
second informed team
But there's no Isco.
in La Liga.
But
They've
there's no
won their
Isco.
last 6 games with Anthony.
There's no Isco.
Olamide, please
What are you
stick to
saying
the
now?
There's no
Copa
Isco.
del Rey,
We're
please.
sticking to
There's
the
no
Copa del
Isco.
Rey.
Is it Anthony?
So-
Now Anthony in the fear.
So what
Anthony.
are you saying?
Me that
No,
should
now let
have
me
come
talk
to
now.
give you safe landing.
No safe landing.
Carry over.
No safe landing.
And please stop giving Olamide
He asked
Barcelona
me
to
about
say.
Barcelona.
I know they
we'll talk
regret.
about
I regret this one. I regret this one.
Nobody said
I
it.
know, sir, I don't know.
The point is, against Atletico, right? The first leg ended 4-4. So these guys knew that anything can happen. That was why Barcelona went with a conservative approach. Get the
Ferran
first goal.
Torres started up from man.
Yeah, get the first goal, and then unlike Hansi Flick, he didn't do the high line. The guys were back defending in their numbers, and that was for me the second time I saw.
What do you call that?
Barcelona defend.
What do you call
Back
that?
to boss.
Tactical play.
That was a tactical
practical.
decision.
Okay.
They did it against Real Madrid when they got red carded, when Chesney got the red card, and they held on even after conceding that free kick. Second time against Atletico, it shows that not only can they score goals, they can also maintain.
Oh, but it also just means Atletico are not as good as we think they used to be.
Yes.
Maybe, perhaps.
Because they lost to Madrid, now
Maybe.
lost to Barcelona.
Maybe.
Funny enough, they
It's
only
off-season.
team-
We call that off-season.
Maybe. No, they've always been like that. Atletico always promise to finish
It's off-season.
All right, let's go to the Premier League. We're now in the running, final 8 games of the season. So much to look forward to.
Liverpool
Everton,
yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Liverpool, Everton lost. There were loads of moments in that game. Everton had
amazing.
a goal disallowed. Beto hit the woodwork. It should have been a red card for Tarkowski. There was just so much. The goal could have been offside if Tarkowski didn't move. But somehow Tarkowski activated himself, ensuring that Diogo Jota got the goal. So lead back to 12 points ahead of second place Arsenal, who remember beat their opponent Fulham on Tuesday. Other wins saw Bournemouth lose at home to Ipswich. Aston Villa, Marcus Rashford got a goal. 2-0 away to Brighton. Manchester City without Haaland, no problems. Leicester lost by 2-0. And Newcastle had 1 goal for Isak as they beat Brentford by 2-1. And surprisingly, Olanrewaju was instrumental as Southampton played out a 1-1 draw with Crystal Palace. Anything tickles your fancy? Because for what it is now, Man City are back in the Champions League places.
Yeah.
And I think 5th is enough to get you back in the Champions League.
Yeah, because of the coefficient. This season is just a good one for England. 5 teams qualifying from the league, and that shows you that there's hope for them. And then don't forget that Manchester United are still in the Europa League. So if Man U go ahead to win the Europa League, that means England will have 6 teams to represent them
In Champions League.
in the Champions League. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
because the winner of Europa League.
Spurs are still
automatically-
Spurs are also in
Yeah,
the Europa
Spurs are
League.
still there.
So don't just say Man United.
So it's not
also
just Man U.
mention
So
Spurs.
that means England can actually get 6 teams in the Champions League for next season.
Wow.
But we know that it's not possible.
Anything can happen.
Nothing
It's
can
football.
happen for
It's
those two
football.
guys.
Anything
Nothing
can
can happen for those two guys.
Somebody, I saw a video. Somebody said he's waiting for Man U to win 5 games in a row. That he won't cut his hair. He did an update. The guy don't get dreadlocks.
There's no baba in their village. But for me, the EPL is taking a very fine shape.
Yeah.
But where my interest lies is drop zone. The drop
Why?
zone.
I think the drop zone has
No.
divided itself.
Somebody's owing me 100k. Yes, 100k.
You say, wait, the person talk.
I told him at the beginning of the season, after 4 games, that the 3 teams that came from the EFL will go
return.
back the same way the
He's
3
looking like
teams
it too.
that came. So he was like, because you got that one right, doesn't mean you get this one right. If you do, I'll give you 100k.
Southampton,
Leicester City,
and
Ipswich.
Ipswich.
And Ipswich is guaranteed already. If
No,
the three of
I
them-
think Leicester. Okay, no. I think Southampton.
Ipswich won yesterday. I
So
think they
no,
won.
so Ipswich are 9 points behind Wolves,
They are
and their
going.
next game is against Wolves.
They are
So that
going.
match will determine a lot.
Yes.
They are going. So my big bros, cannot try, bro. My 100k.
But we've seen miraculous.
No, I don't
There's
think
no
so. I
miracle
don't
in this
think
one,
so.
Olamide.
I don't-
Those
With the way
teams are going
Southampton,
back.
with the way West Ham are, Wolves are playing.
Yeah.
I think Wolves will escape.
Wolves will definitely.
The 3
escape.
teams are, that is where my interest lie. They must go.
There's no point in asking where I wouldn't interest that because your team lose to Nottingham Forest home and away this season.
Man, you go lose now. You don't know say they go lose or not.
Man,
Excuse
dirty
me.
wrong.
No, but you guys, that brings me back.
There's a
to
build up
last
in
week's
Man U.
predictions.
There's a build up in Man U. Amorim is building up the team for next season. So whatever you want to think doesn't matter.
You know what's funny for me is every other person when they sack their manager and getting someone else, there's been some form of reaction.
Improvement.
We both spoke about Wolves, Victor Pereira. There's been reaction. We spoke about Everton. Yesterday's defeat was only the second defeat
for
David
what's his
Moyes,
name?
and he's on a run of 5 games wins or thereabouts, right? There's been a reaction. You look at any other team that has changed their manager, there's been some form of reaction.
So what are you insinuating?
That there's been no reaction on United.
There's reaction. The group of players that will go for Manchester United, we're pinning them down.
And it's funny that the players who United have criticized a lot this season,
They're not doing well
picking
in
up.
other clubs. though.
another club,
Because they are mid-table players.
no, but
They will do well there because
is Aston Villa a mid-table team?
I'm not saying Aston Villa is a mid-table team. Those players themselves, they are not as big as we thought.
Like
Aston Villa is doing well. Rashford will thrive. Manchester United is not doing well, and everybody is looking at Rashford thriving.
Voice is high.
No, it will be high, because the question is, why will you say that everybody that left, they are doing well? Aston Villa is thriving well.
Like Anthony.
Rashford is not a big player as you people think. He will try. He will manage in that team.
I don't agree.
Anthony in Betis. Betis is not doing bad. Anthony will try because he's not Manchester United. Manchester United are really bad. Both the players, everything is not working for them. So players will not thrive there. That is my point.
So how about the likes of? So the question is, how about because if you say they're not big players, how about the likes of Mkhitaryan, the likes of Damian,
that have left and still playing well?
You are talking about different era. You are talking about Mkhitaryan that played in the era of Mourinho. You are talking about Danny Blind that played in the era of Mourinho. Even when Mourinho came to Manchester United.
How about Lukaku that played in the era of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not this terrible.
How about
United was not this terrible when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was there. Messi Greenwood has an issue. But that was why he left.
No, but I'm saying that he's playing well under the Ten Hag era, because you said eras. So I'm wondering, I've gotten all the way to Ten Hag's era.
I'm saying eras in the terms of even when
David De Gea.
David De Gea has never had issues in Manchester United. It's just that Manchester United never wanted the service anymore. They felt there is a player that is better than him, but it was all a fluke. I'm coming. Hold up. Oh, that is what I'm saying. See, Onana might be doing well in Ajax. Ajax is big, but it's not that big as Manchester United. It's a different terrain. We are not talking about Netherlands football. We are talking about English football.
Some of the players that United brought into the team who were doing
well, they will not thrive because the system itself is not good. They will not thrive because that is what I'm saying. You are not listening to me. You are not listening to me. See, Rashford is a mid-table player. Leave it. See, he's a mid-table player. He's a mid-table player. Because he's English, he's a mid-table player. That is why you see people like Jack Grealish moving from Aston Villa. Yeah, in the era he was playing Aston Villa is just there.
But he did well in
Manchester. They are thriving.
Aston Villa was a mid-table team when he was there. Now Aston Villa is not a mid-table team.
I'm not saying they are mid-table, but they are not as big as United, irrespective of what is happening in United.
Pedigree wise.
Is somebody with me? So now Grealish is in Manchester City.
Because
you could still see that. You could still see that. Leave Sancho. You could still see that Grealish is not as big as they thought.
Yeah, obviously that we know that.
That is what I'm saying because they are English. Now back to Anthony. Anthony is not a big player.
A Brazilian international.
Hello. To the answer, they bought him under. He's not a big player. He will thrive in Betis because Betis is just there.
But Isco is that in Betis?
Isco is a big player. He's coming from Madrid. Isco is making Betis big. Are you listening? Anthony is just a small player. I don't know, maybe you're getting my point.
Speaking from a place of passion.
Why will you tell me Rashford? How many goals he scored?
Rashford, let's go back to what Rashford for Manchester United.
Mr. Princewill, please. This is not fair. This is Opeyemi.
He has over 5 goal contribution.
He's not a good player. It is not a good player. He's just an average player.
Midweek, Rashford
is an average player. So is Sancho. You could see what Sancho is doing. He went from Borussia Dortmund. You know that his level is Borussia Dortmund.
What was the former European champion?
It's a big team, but they are not as big as United. I don't know, maybe people are getting my point. Leave what United is facing. They are not as big. It's just like you comparing Madrid to
United. To United.
They are in the same category. Irrespective of what is happening in United now, they are in the same category. They are big teams. I'm not trying to be sentimental now. I'm not trying to be sentimental. They are in the same category. Over over 10.
Champions are champions.
See,
Have
they are
you won Champions League?
big team is a big team.
Yeah, they have.
Wasn't that for our Champions League?
Big team is a big team.
They have.
I didn't know that there was really a big team.
Anyway.
Femi, you know what you are doing. Everybody know what there is. Please, I beg. Actually, I need to take some water.
Okay. We need to share more thoughts coming through when we return from this time out. All right, so normally we go through our predictions, but today we're just going to do a little twist. And this comes as a sad story. It's been around this week. It's been trending. The Nigerian boxer, talking about Segun's success, Olanrewaju, who passed away in the ring in Ghana. Video has been going on as well online. It's been extremely disturbing, guys. And we've seen reactions from both the Ghana Boxing Association and the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. Had a conversation with the president of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. I'm talking about Rafael Adipo this week, where he clearly explained the side of the Nigerian boxing system, right? Saying loads of things have gone in the fight. The boxer was told to throw in the fight, was on his way to Afle. I've never been to Ghana before, so I won't even sit here and try to speak as if I know all the routes, but was recalled, was promised $2,000 for the fight. And during the bout, we saw him collapse and then passed away. It's a sad story. It is disturbing, and we know the family. He's got 3 children, right? Got a wife, got his mother as well. There's so many parts to point fingers at. We hear there was no medicals done before that fight in Ghana. The MBBF of C said it was done in their own end. What do you guys make of this? A life has been lost, so that already is the underlying factor. But how do we find a balance in this story?
It's very unfortunate. I feel sad that I'm speaking on it, because even right there on our show in my own station, I refuse to talk about it. It has a lot of drawbacks to our sports.
Yeah.
A lot of drawbacks. I have been an advocate of insurance for athletes.
I agree.
As we speak, I don't think this man has a backup when it comes to insurance. Before we came on set, I was gisting with you jokingly, and I said we all have our rules concerning this young man's deaths.
Generally, sport athletes generally.
Yeah, we for some of us, we choose to talk about the sports that put something on our table and ignore the other ones. Boxing, as it is, doesn't have a cloud. People don't even write about boxing. People don't talk about boxing. Now, there's something about this fight that a lot of people don't even know. The fight was actually called off, but this guy had to go back to the same fight because of debt for $500. $500. And the funny part of it was that it was not sanctioned by the Ghana Boxing Federation
Or the MBBF.
or the MBBF. Now, if we had people who served as mentors or who were actually monitoring, or we have database, this guy will not go back to pick up that particular fight. So it's encompassing. It's all unfortunate that he's no longer alive. I wish him.
So another story to this is that he was actually scheduled to fight on Friday. Right?
Yeah.
But he came in overweight for that fight.
Yeah.
And so the fight was cancelled. So he had spent so much, invested a lot in the
Training, preparation,
traveling, incurred
logistics,
debts, like Princewill said.
miscellaneous.
So to go back home empty-handed was a big problem for him, because he had debts to pay. And so when the opportunity of a fight came up that he could make an extra $500. So the guy saw it as an opportunity that, look, I could,
that's almost $1 million.
I could pay
That's almost $1 million.
It's almost $1 million if you look at it.
It's about $800 if I'm correct.
$800 thereabout. So he said, if I could repay, let me just go and take on the fight, of which he did.
Because by the way, $1,000 is about 1.6
at the current exchange rate.
In the black market, it's 1.7.
Yeah, at the current, it's just a sad experience.
So,
I mean, and the fact that it was recorded, how would the family feel when they watch the videos?
we wish the family the strength to bear the loss at this time, and our thoughts and prayers are with them, all of us from here at iRavelStudios. Okay. Let's go over now to the weekend special. We've got 3 great games from the MPFL. One stands out as the most important game for me on this list. But
all games are important.
Thank God. He said for him.
Okay, for him.
Yeah.
He said
no. For me, and I was going to say for me,
That's why I
and
said all games are important.
That was why I was
me
listening
and for-
very well.
no,
when you said for
me
you.
and I was going to add the and sports in 60 minutes.
No.
I didn't want him to finish that.
No.
So
All games are important.
What do you mean by
Mr. Producer just whispered to me that I put the most important in the middle. And I said the middle is what we will do first. Are you guys
After this show, I will fight our producer.
Producer, it's your problem. But I do what the producer told me to do.
Okay.
Producer currently said I should go first with Eyimba against Abia Warriors. That's an Oriental derby. Okay, let's start with you with that one because I'm going to leave the important one for Princewill.
I think the game is going to be a very tough one.
Abia have done very well this season.
Abia Warriors, they are gunning for the continental ticket. They did well in their last match. Eyimba have not been finding their balance. They are digging deep. Even with the tactician Stanley Eguma, he's not finding it easy. He's not finding it easy in the league. Kudos to Imama. He has been doing well with his boys. And this is a very big one. They are going to be playing away to Eyimba in Aba. I think I'm going to give this to Abia Warriors with how they have been going in the game. They won their last match.
What would favor the states? Now, and I'm speaking from a theoretical point, not saying there's anything to this. Would it be better for if Abia Warriors, let me pick my words carefully, get this result, knowing that they're edging closer to a continental bet? Eyimba can go through the FA Cup if they want to get in, but realistically speaking, they've got the likes of Shooting, Abia, Ikorodu to topple. That means Eyimba's destiny is not in their own hands, but Abia Warriors' destiny is in their hands. Won't it make more sense?
Add Rangers.
Okay, sorry, Rangers. For sake of mention, the champions who failed to defend the title. What will make more sense? Won't it make more sense if Abia Warriors get a result in this game?
Yeah, it will. That's what I'm saying. That for me, I think Abia Warriors is going to clinch this because they have been up and doing. With the tactician Imama Amakabo, he has been doing well with the team, and I think he's going to get a result against Stanley Eguma.
All right, so we're just going to make a quick switch as well because of how things are. Let's go over to Rivers United versus Remo Stars. Now, I'm mentioning this game because FG will take his team again and welcome the league leaders. And this is an opportunity for him to reduce the gap which currently exists.
Yes, there is a gap of 8-point difference between the two sides. I mean, it's been almost a smooth ride for Remo because if you look at the fact that you have just 7 games more until the end of the season.
But they have 8. Remo Stars have 8.
Yeah, they have 8 because they played 30 games. So against Rivers United, this is a match first against second. But fortunately for Rivers United, they have the advantage. And I feel like if they put everything together and they go out with their determination, they can beat Remo Stars, which is what I see happening.
I think it'll be a win
for Rivers United.
I think Rivers as well. I'm going Rivers.
I think Rivers will beat Remo.
You didn't go for Eyimba. You're going for Rivers.
Because I think that, again, the state matters. Abia Warriors has some form of link to the states, whether they admit it or not, right? And because football will return, funny enough, if it returns to Abia State, the other place in Eyimba Stadium, or the place at the Opeyemi Market Stadium, right? So it's still within that.
And the Abia Warriors still, they are third on the table, so they have something to.
So as I said, it is realistic for them if they get the result.
Have you thought about the spoiler angle? You think Eyimba doesn't have pride on their side?
So I think that Eyimba would prefer if a team from Oyo or Lagos or Enugu nicks that tickets before.
That's your own thing.
They can't do anything.
I don't think
they can't do.
But you know what? Let's leave the last match for him because initially our producer said we should put the most important game for second, but last we all agreed that they should go to third because
you all agree.
Yes, now
you had a meeting.
When you agree that one,
kinetically, telekinetic. Okay. Shooting Stars in their quest to return to the continent. And look, we've all said how Gbenga Gombate is a seasoned campaigner and what he can do. But somehow they've just had a poor run of form recently. I think 1 week in the last 5 games. They're up against one of the hottest teams in the NPFL, Ikorodu City. Princewill Oviesan. I don't know your middle names. I probably can't call that for you.
Harrison.
One of
Princewill
Harrison has lost 2 and won 2. drawn 1 and 1-2 of
Olamide
their
is not
last
your
5 matches.
Olamide focus now. Nobody asks you now. Let Princewill collect. Let Princewill collect this. Princewill use your church mind to analyze this match.
You know they try to pacify you.
Give it to Ikorodu City.
Okay, that's all. That's all.
He's coming. He's coming.
No, that's the end. Give it to Ikorodu City. That's the full stop. Don't put any command.
Ikorodu City, at the beginning of the season, I didn't really expect them to do this well. I must be honest.
Lagos team now.
Considering the fact of what we saw Sporting Lagos did last season, and even if they're a crop of young boys, they also have a mission which they're actually putting forward. But you're playing against a team that has strong tenacity. I remember vividly being that Ogubote telling the fans that we missed it last season. This season, I'm promising you a ticket for the continent. And when you play against shooting stars in Ibadan at this period of the season, it's quite hostile. It's going to be tough, considering the fact that the Ikorodu City boys I've not seen them live, but I've watched their game. They have this drive, never say die spirit. But this time around, that spirit will collapse for Ibadan.
All right, so let's go over now to the Premier League, right? It's back after the FA Cup weekend and so many games. Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. Princewill, at this period, since you refuse to use your church mind to predict the last game, use your church mind and predict this one.
Okay, just prediction. Aston Villa will win.
Okay, all right. I'm not even going to go through it. Okay, Man United, Man City.
City to win.
Somebody said it the way it is.
City to win.
I agree with you. Mamouche to score two goals.
Except something is.
Funny enough, I believe United will win this game. Every manager, right? No matter how they struggle, their struggles against Pep, they just only against Pep was Ten Hag against Pep.
Now you are talking.
Manchester United will win this game.
Against what they up against Pep.
City to win.
Man, you will win.
Remember that the reverse fixture, United won it too.
Yes, now.
And they were at the City ground.
Man, you will win.
City to win.
It was still the same manager, Amorim, that beat Pep.
Yes, I think it was his first game.
Was it? Yeah, one of his first games.
It was his first game.
And first game, I want to
Fulham
shakara
against Liverpool,
everybody.
Olamide. What do you
Fulham
think?
against Liverpool. Liverpool to win.
Okay, let's go to the Serie A. Now, the most informed team in the Serie A is AS Roma. They're up against Juventus, who, by the way, got 2-0. First game against Genoa, who were coached by a former Juventus midfielder, Patrick Vieira, got his first win. But Claudio Ranieri, funny enough, Ranieri also coached Juventus back in the day.
Back then.
So that should be an exciting game.
Roma to win.
Okay, that's pretty bold.
Okay.
Olamide, Atalanta Lazio. Atalanta, they huffed and puffed. Seems as though they're running back-to-back defeats in the league.
I told you guys last week now, didn't I say it?
Oh, well, you did.
I did.
All right. What do you think?
For me, I feel like this one, they'll win this one. Against Lazio, they will.
This was...
And I also back Rategi to get a goal. Rategi will score.
Okay.
Yeah.
This fixture cannot be correct.
It is.
Inter Udinese cannot be correct.
It
cannot be correct.
You should say they
played Inter. I'm seeing it on my.
It
cannot be wrong. Yes,
just those two.
It cannot be right because that's the last game they played.
I was looking at it too, like
that's the last game they played. It cannot be right, and I think that's when they won 2-0.
So I think I only put 2 in my mind. I put 2.
Okay.
Just
all
those
right.
2. Sorry,
it's fine. Let's switch now to Spain. Oh goodness, this is going to be pretty difficult. The title running at the stands, Barcelona led Real Madrid by 3 points. Remember, there's one El Clasico to go this season where Real Madrid hold their destiny in their own hands. Now, not necessarily hold them because they need Barcelona to drop points elsewhere based on the head-to-head. Or if they score more goals and then hopefully they go above Barcelona. But then the scoreline from the first game makes it almost very difficult, right, for them. But there's a lot to play for. There's the cup final, which is to mention. But Real Madrid first had to do the little business around the other teams challenging them. That includes Valencia. Valencia is always a very difficult one. They're out of the relegation troubles. Under Carlos Calderon, you think Valencia can go to the Santiago like Leganes and almost shock them?
Well, one very funny thing that I've come to notice this season with the mid-level team in La Liga is that they've given Real Madrid a very tough time.
Oh, yes, they have.
A very tough time.
Oh, they have.
So anything can happen if they can survive the scare over the weekend. They could also go through. So a win for Real Madrid.
Okay, let's start over. Real Betis away to Barcelona. There is no Isco in this game. He's suspended. Now, remember what he did against the champions, right? He beat the champions single-handedly, Isco practically did everything himself. Well, now they don't have that, but they have one of the greatest, if not the GOAT himself, Anthony. And Anthony helped Betis.
I know you purposely did that. I know he.
No, that's what even Betis sites.
That's what they've been calling him.
They call him the GOAT.
They left Isco and call him the GOAT. They are not
Even
serious.
Isco said,
If they lose this match, they deserve it
Even
for
Isco
calling
said-
Anthony
at the
GOAT.
end of last week, Isco said they should do crowdfunding to buy Anthony from Man United.
He's
value
the
him.
answer that he's doing for
They
them.
value him.
Buy him finish, you will know that you bought.
And Barcelona, by the
you
way,
bought
has not
shaft.
lost. Barcelona has not lost in 2025.
Yeah, and I think without Isco for Real Betis, it's a big one. In as much as Barcelona look exhausted, I think this game they needed it. I'm giving it to Barcelona.
I think Barcelona to win. So I think so because also I watched the game against Atletico Madrid and I realized one thing. Atletico's plan was whenever Rafinha gets the ball, chip at his back, like stamp on him. They were trying to get him an injury because Aspilicueta could have gotten a red card. The Paul could have been sent off in that game. They all just kept, whenever Rafinha gets the ball, they're stepping on him, they're stamping on him. Hopefully, Real Betis will probably deploy the same thing to reduce his pace going into the Champions League. But wait to see. I still think Barcelona to win. Finally, Sevilla taking on Atletico Madrid. It seems as if Atletico have thrown themselves out of the title race. Right? Sevilla, since they got rid of Kelechi Iheanacho, looks like life is good once again. But
So Kelechi was the problem.
oh well, yes.
Kelechi was never a starter.
Yeah, so well. He was a starter.
No, he was never.
At the start of the season,
He was
a
never
starter.
a starter.
He was a starter.
Because Ejuke was out injured.
Ejuke played from the left.
He was never a starter at Sevilla, Femi. This one is, I watch La Liga.
I watch La Liga as
follow
well.
La Liga a lot.
I play La Liga's fantasy.
Bros.
But it's all right.
I feel like there was never a time. Kelechi Iheanacho.
I'm looking at you.
Yes, now.
You play legal fantasy. I don't play MPFL fantasy.
We don't have.
Create one.
We tried. There was a period when a few foreign investors came in and we tried. But the first problem we had generally was the sort of response we got, right, from Nigerian fans to the gift that they were adding at the end. Because one of the problems they had, they were offering gift cards. And Nigerians, normally when you check what the Premier League is offering you, a trip to watch Premier League game, merchandise, this, what they were offering as reward, because the MPFL is a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
The Premier League, you can see, you get team reactions, you get update trainings. In the MPFL, I'm waiting to know if Princewill Oviesan is still training with Rangers, or if Olamide has switched over.
He has went
It's
away.
just about the coverage.
So it was
It's
a
about
very,
the
and then
coverage.
information.
Information.
Because I know that I can go for Migo, I know I can go for, what's his name, Anas, right? But the question I'm asking is, do I know if Anas has gone for trials and will miss the next 2 weeks? I don't know.
Or if he's injured.
I don't know.
Now you come back to the initial point where I was about.
Can we move
developmental
forward?
program. You see how you rope yourself back now.
Can we move forward?
Well, for me, I feel
I
like.
don't know why Prince would like to always go back to the past.
The reason why this Sevilla and Atletico game is actually very important is because Atletico Madrid, they've not won in 6 now after the loss against Barcelona. So they are automatically out of the title race because they are about 9 points behind Barcelona and they're about the same behind Real Madrid. I think 12 points behind Barcelona, 9 points behind Real Madrid. So it looks like their season is almost over. Sevilla, on the other hand, their season didn't start so good, but somehow they've picked up. I feel like it will end in a draw too, because both sides are evenly matched at this point. So it will end in a draw.
Okay. I was just going through Iheanacho's stats just to pull it out. Played 9 games in La Liga, started 5, came off the bench for 4 of those games, a total of 402 minutes before his eventual departure. No goals scored, no assists created. So 5-4.
5-4.
Started 5 games.
So you don't win now.
I didn't. No, it's not about who wins and who loses. I'm just passing information.
You say he's the problem of the team.
No, how can somebody who started 5 games, just 5 games?
I'm saying that you know the score. 45 when they bring you know the score.
Can become the problem of the team.
Yes.
I don't know, 3 follow because if
know
they
the
put you
score.
in the score goal, you know score.
You know the
Good
score.
job,
Where do you be? But
Must he be the one to score?
yes, because he has gone now to Middlesbrough. He has played 8 games, started 6, come off the bench for 2.
How many has he
I
scored?
scored 1
Oh.
just last week.
1 in 6, 1 in 8.
That's not a good rate.
Off period.
All right, okay. Well, when we get to the Super Eagles, Pierre, you talk about this matter again. We've added that one to one of the things to talk about.
Don't go to the Super Eagles. Those guys that to score goal Nawala.
Let me ask you a question about scoring goals before we go, guys. Quick one. Pichichi, right? There's a battle between Lewandowski and Mbappe. Who do you think wins at the end of the season?
It's going to be tough.
Very tough.
But
I think Premier League is straightforward.
Salah is winning it.
Because Haaland is out for at least 5 weeks.
Yes.
Right? So Salah straight up, right?
It's going to be tough.
If we go to Italy, Retegui is also leading by a long margin. So that's also pretty sorted out.
Yeah.
Whereas France. What's his name?
Dembele is
It's also a long, so pretty. And then Harry Kane in Germany, Cesar Mamouche has moved on. That's also pretty simple. I think just Spain, because we've got 2 world-class players.
It's going to be tough.
Two.
Who do you go for? Who do you go for?
For me?
Yeah.
I'd like to give it to Lewandowski.
Lewandowski.
Yeah.
I feel Mbappe will. Yeah, I feel Mbappe will. Because of the penalty factor.
But Lewandowski got the penalties.
Real Madrid always gets more penalties.
Wow. Are you trying to say something?
That's why they call them Madrid now.
Is
I beg you.
No. You know what I'm saying.
No,
I don't want us to get into
I
this
don't.
What do you think?
It's a difficult one. I'm looking at Lewandowski too.
I think Mbappe, not because of what he says, but because 1, Mbappe plays more minutes. 2, Mbappe is also on set piece duties. So set piece free kicks. Lewandowski cannot score free kicks. Yes, penalties. They both play penalties. 1 scores from free kicks and 1 plays more minutes. So I'm going that way. And I think Madrid are a lot more explosive in front compared to what the body of Lewandowski can do at 36, 37.
Mbappe can score a hat-trick in a game and,
Lewandowski
Mbappe
sometimes
has more chances of
Lewandowski
scoring
has
goals.
experience.
He
If
does.
Lewandowski was the same age as Mbappe, I'd probably have switched the other way. But I'm thinking that based on his age and the running, I think the manager will start managing his body.
He's already doing that.
Yeah. So at 30, he's tried at 37.
Yeah.
At
He's already
36,
doing
37. Okay, so the weekend is already upon us, and in our usual fashion, we've got to go through what everyone has got lined out, right? Who do we start off first with?
Let's do-
Ini, mini, mani, mo. I'm going to start off with myself today for a change, right?
Finally.
Wow.
It's the end of Ramadan, and as always, I try my best to stay in the preachings and teachings that the holy month has brought me. So, obviously, I'll be going through work later this weekend. I've got Barcelona's game against Real Betis to work on. That's confirmed. I'm also still thinking about it. Okwe and I, right? Well, Okwe has I want to go to Ibadan this weekend to watch Shooting Stars take on Ikorodu City. Gang, 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 gang. I'll be right here next and tell you about how explosive it was.
I'll follow suit.
You come to Ibadan.
No.
We'll not let you come to Ibadan.
No, I'm not coming
We'll
to
not
Ibadan.
let you come to Ibadan.
I have a voice in Ibadan that will
We'll never let you come to Ibadan.
No, don't bother.
Anigba.
I have
Who
a
is the voice?
Sunday.
I almost wanted to mention to me. But I was just like, let me be careful.
He will be feeding me.
Mr. Va. We'll remove him from the equation. He doesn't know what to say.
I want to even know what that guy looks like.
That crazy person.
Oh, he's a passionate person. That's his word, passion. He's passionate. Mr. Va. I know. That's what my weekend is planned. I don't think nothing else exciting, just those 2 things. Princewill, how about you? You can say I started with myself today, so you won't say it's always me at 30 last.
Okay. I'm going to be at home. Have a lot of.
How was your party, by the way?
Yeah, I was almost asking that.
How was your party?
Oh, fantastic.
I ended up not coming over today.
You'll be my guest.
I know I ended up not coming today. That's why I didn't.
I was expecting to say, I won't come.
And I was all through.
It was fun.
Yeah.
You were home alone.
So
Alone?
much to eat, especially the fish.
Oh,
Were you alone
wow.
at
I
home?
miss. You should have gingered me.
Were you alone
now.
at
So
home?
I was thinking when you said just by invite. So I was thinking,
It doesn't really matter. If
assuming you like, Ope, do you
there were
actually
guys who
want to
came,
come?
if you could identify who invited you, because it was 2 events.
Okay.
The birthday, the anniversary. I went there for the
Anniversary?
anniversary, and also we have this back relationship. So it was more or less like I just have to be there.
That was
But it
good.
was fun.
All right.
Wow.
So what have you got planned out this weekend?
This weekend I'm going to be at home. I have a lot of stuff to do at home, especially house chores.
Okay. All right. So I'll put a spy in your adubo. So the spy will tell me if that's true.
They won't see me. You know
They
why?
won't see you.
Once I'm indoor, I hardly come out.
Your window. Have you heard the word called peeping tom? I put a peeping tom by your
Pepper,
window.
spray pepper.
Pepper. You go spoil it. You go affect everybody but adubo now.
Don't worry.
Any good things?
Not really. It's gonna be just a very.
No food testing this weekend.
No, I'll be home. Like,
No fashion events.
I'll be home.
No
this
compare
Let's just say go
jobs.
there house. You say you.
weekend. My house.
Okay, all right.
With madam.
Obviously now.
Obviously.
How about you? Because the last one you just asked tonight, you said you were home alone. Alone? Were you home alone?
Yes, I was home alone.
Wow, that must have been so lonely.
It's not your business.
What have you got this weekend, by the way?
I don't know. The weekend is just there.
So I just want to hear you discuss about going together to Ibadan.
Yeah, now I was coming to that. Yeah, we spending Saturday night.
I know. We have to go there early now to prepare for the big match.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. We're going to prepare for the match.
Which match?
What are
the teams you are preparing?
Funny enough, when I was in Ibadan, Shooting Stars was the team I supported. Right? So, but
now you are in Lagos.
Lagos, Ikorodu City. So, two teams that I know how to support. From the depth of my heart, Opeyemi and I are going to go and watch those teams. Hand in hand.
I'll start supporting Gateway FC very soon.
Only Gateway then. So Gateway.
You've lived in Ogun State before?
Plenty times. Abeokuta is like a second home to me, but my number one team.
Yes, will never be. Since Yekini left there, they will not be promoted again.
And they can never be promoted because the politics within that team
is too much.
It's killing.
So maybe probably on Sunday we might go and see the game.
Is this Sunday morning or is it Saturday night?
It's Sunday.
Sunday morning.
I don't want to be sure which.
Sunday morning.
Maybe Sunday morning or Saturday night.
Sunday.
Because I like.
You like it?
Remember, you can be a part of the show as well. Share your thoughts with us. Thanks for everyone who joined us. Sports in 16 minutes coming to a close. Big thanks to Princewill, Olamide, and Opeyemi. So go out, do great things, but above all, everyone, have a great night. Bye.